from our account, the man and the wife, the man got information that the wife was involved in extramarital affairs in Abuja. That led to their separation, and the woman was no longer coming home from Abuja. And Chidima had a man who was the younger brother of her father. Let me say uncle.
Okay.
Who put Chidima in University of Lagos? Who was paying Chidima's school fees? And that is Mr. Izu. Now, the allegation and the pictures I have here, I have all the pictures here.
Okay.
Of Mr. Izu and Brenda kissing at different positions. I have all of them in my phone.
Yeah, it's there in the social media
Good.
space. Yeah, it's there in the social
I
media
have all
space.
of them here. So,
hey guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for watching What Is Good. I'm Jade if you're new here. So you guys remember a few weeks ago, right at the thick of that entire Chidima the Psychic and Michael Usifo Ataga's wahala, and most people were trying to make sense out of the whole thing, and this barrister came online to tell us what he knew and what he didn't know. The barrister's name was A.B. Thomas. He went on ITV to narrate the thing as if his eyes saw everything, as if he was there when everything happened, saying it with his full chest, claiming that Mrs. Brenda Ataga had extramarital affairs with one Mr. Izu, and that Mrs. Brenda connived with this so-called Mr. Izu and Chidima to set her husband up and take his life. Some of you sent me this video and wanted me to post about it, but I took one look at it and I just thought it would be very, very unethical of me and very, very irresponsible of me to post something that I have reservations about, that I knew in my heart that wasn't true. Like, if you guys remember from the very beginning, especially when people started trying to push a narrative that Mrs. Ataga somehow had something to do with this, I was always saying that this woman had nothing to do with this, that they should remove her name out of it, that this is just the age-long practice of basically blaming a wife when something happens to the husband. But fast forward to recently, and Barrister Thomas has now come back to basically walk back all of the accusations, all of the lies that he essentially told on national television about this woman that he does not even know. He's basically recanting all the things that he said, claiming that he saw those things online. Can you imagine? So I'm going to read to you guys a press release from Barrister A.B. Thomas. So it goes, further to our telephone discussion on my phone number 080 blah blah blah, today 8th July 2021, I wish to refute as incorrect my comment on the unfortunate death of late Mr. Michael Usifo Ataga as it relates to Mrs. Brenda Ataga and one Mr. Izu. My comments were made without malice, and from expert checks online, I have found that they were baseless and false. I have never met Mrs. Brenda Ataga, and I have also found out that there is no Mr. Izu anywhere. These were stories I read online by myself. Oh my gosh. Ooh. I'm sorry, let me continue reading. I am therefore very apologetic to Mrs. Brenda Ataga and the entire Ataga family for any embarrassment, pain, or suffering my comment on ITV may have caused them. It is also very unfortunate that it is not the entire interview I granted that is now being circulated online, as my comments were made without malice on any of the persons mentioned, particularly Mrs. Brenda Ataga. I therefore withdraw these statements, which I have discovered to be untrue, as I relied on stories I read online in the course of the public commentary, as this matter has caused me depression and great embarrassment from my friends and family members. Same refutal will be made on ITV Benin immediately, please. Depression. The matter don't cause pressure. You never see anything. Have you seen anything? You never see. They just start. Like I said before at the beginning, I'm very sure, I am so sure that they threatened to sue him to court if he did not do this. And yeah, how do you go online and just be spewing all kinds of things that you have things that are not based on facts, not based on anything but just hearsay, things that you saw online, matters with no origin, people just cook up story. Now here we dey way story about that man when he pluck his wife teeth. When that story reach online, I saw somebody cook up matter, claim say the woman husband come from Canada, can't do DNA, can't discover say not being born the pikin. Like, you should know better. You are a lawyer. Oh my gosh, what kind of a lawyer are you? What kind of law do you practice that you do not know how to use your words, choose your words correctly? Knowing the implications of that, knowing the fact that people are gullible and they will literally take your word for it and believe you must know something that they don't on account of you being a lawyer. You have to be responsible with your words, with the things that you say. Everybody wants to be online these days. Everybody wants to trend. Everybody wants attention. And now look at where the attention has gotten him. It's just crazy. I was watching that man that day and I could not believe my eyes. I was like, is this man for real? Like, this man carried the matter for head, saying it with his full chest. This man went on TV, came out, and basically he started regurgitating some of the BS that he had read online, that he had seen online, started basically just passing it off as the truth. And a lot of gullible people online just bought into it. I mean, why not? He's a lawyer. Like I said, when a lawyer comes forward and he's just telling you all these sensational stories, like, you will think, okay, even though he's not directly involved, he must know people. Being a member of that community, being a member of that profession, he must have been fed information by some of his colleagues in the profession, in the industry. Not knowing that this man knew just as much as you knew. You that is online waiting for me to come and give you an update on this matter, you and that man had about the same amount of information. This man was looking for attention, and sadly, ITV gave him one. And now he's in trouble. I also suspect that they threatened to sue him because now, not only is he walking back some of the tales by moonlight that he told, he also said in a press release that he is willing to go back to the TV station and recant everything that he had said. So anyways, for those of you who haven't seen the video, or maybe you need a refresher of what Barrister A.B. Thomas actually said, here's a video of it. Take a look at it, and I'll be back with the rest of my thoughts.
I have with me in the studio to help us make sense, legally speaking, of all that has transpired with the murder of Usifo Ataga in Lagos by a young girl called Chidinma Ojukwu. I'd like to welcome very specially Chief A.B. Thomas, a legal practitioner, constitutional lawyer, and is also a public affairs commentator. Barrister A.B. Thomas, thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much. Good morning to viewers at home.
Okay, this news broke, I think, on Tuesday last week, and from that time till now, the media space has not really known peace, with different issues coming forth here and there. But what is clear is that someone has come out to admit, after her arrest, that she's responsible for this murder. Give us the legal implications of this, particularly seeking justice for the CEO of Super TV. That seems to be a major issue, a major talking point, as it were.
Well, the murder of Michael Usifo Ataga is a very unfortunate incident. The lady involved, 21-year-old, 300-level mass communication student of University of Lagos, Chidinma Ojukwu, has come out publicly, paraded by the police in Lagos, that she inadvertently stabbed the late Ataga twice in the neck and once in the stomach, because both of them, according to her, were high on loud and SK substances. Substances, from my investigation, are even more dangerous than cocaine. Now, Nigerians need to know the beginning of this affair.
Yeah.
We started in January. Chidinma claims that she was introduced to Mr. Ataga, the CEO of a TV station in Lagos, by one of her friends at a big party in Banana Island in Lagos. The police have got at that angle. She publicly made this confession, and there were all journalists there. She spoke, and it was recorded. I have them in my phone. And that for that 3 months, they've been going to different places. But on this particular time, you see that at this particular time, she was now asked by this late Mr. Usifo to look for a place. In fact, she suggested to Usifo that she was no longer comfortable going to different places with Usifo, that she wanted a quiet place. Usifo now told her, you go ahead, look for a place. She now used her phone. She now used her phone to generate a foreign number. She said so. She used her phone to generate a foreign number to contact the owner of the bread and breakfast apartment called Air Apartment. And that's an exclusive place where you have a room and a kitchen attached.
Okay.
And she got that place on Sunday after using her phone to generate a foreign number. And she now sent the number to Ataga, her boyfriend, who now transferred money to the owners of that place, that bread and breakfast accommodation.
Okay.
Paid for it. She now checked into that apartment, having told her father at home that she was going for ushering job. Because she's been going for ushering job. Whether it is ushering job, but at least this has this, opened up.
That it wasn't an ushering job.
Ushering job.
She went for after all.
So she went in to that place, checked in. She went with clothes and other things. Then Ataga later joined her in the evening. And from her own confessional statement, in the morning, they enjoyed themselves. On that Sunday night, the morning they enjoyed themselves. And in the afternoon, they went out for food. Then that same afternoon, she, on her own, called those who have to supply them the SK and loud.
Okay.
And those people brought in those SK and loud, and according to her, she and Ataga began to consume those substances.
Okay.
And Ataga now tried to come back to have another go at her. And she now said, look, the one you did earlier on, today, Tuesday, I don't like it. I said I was tired of having fun, and you are trying to have another fun again. And that she was in a different angle of the bed. Ataga was in a different angle of the bed. They were taking SK aloud, then drinking as well, and eating at the same time. But that Ataga became high, just as she was high. And Ataga wanted another go at her, and she said no. In the process of that altercation, Ataga hit her head. Ataga became violent and hit her head to the wall.
Okay.
And she retaliated by hitting Ataga's head to the wall. So Ataga began to pursue her around the chalet.
Okay.
And in the process, she ran into the kitchen. And Ataga followed her to the kitchen and pinned her to the kitchen cabinet. Of course, she said she was being choked. and she stretched her hands, picked a knife from the kitchen, and stabbed Ataga in an attempt to free herself. This is her own statement only.
Yeah.
Dead men don't have statements.
Absolutely.
So she stabbed Ataga in the neck and ran out of the kitchen. In an attempt to run out of the chalet through the door, Ataga was there first and blocked the door, locked the place. He was bleeding. He locked the door, kept the case somewhere else. Then she was still holding the knife. Ataga came after her again. She stabbed Ataga again a second time in the neck, which cut the vein leading to the inner gullet.
Yeah.
And in the process, the knife broke and fell on top of the bed. This is her story.
Yeah.
While Ataga was going for the knife, she was faster in getting to the knife and stabbed Ataga in the stomach.
Yeah.
Ataga now fell down, according to her. Then she was bloodied in her dress. She now had to change her dress, put them back in her bag, took a neat one and wore it. With the ATM she alleged Ataga gave to her before Ataga was killed. She alleged Ataga gave her ATM
pin.
And the pin, because she had accused Ataga, you are just taking me around, enjoy yourself. You are not doing anything for me. Ataga said, okay, take my ATM. This is the pin. Then she took that ATM with the pin she already had and went out to withdraw the sum of 380,000 naira.
As against the 5 million that was alleged.
That she says, I withdrew only 380,000 naira for the purpose of paying my school fees. And I did not take 5 million.
Okay.
The police are in that angle. Who withdrew 4.6 million if you withdrew only 380,000? So police angle is that, look, even public analysts, look, there must be a third party
In this whole matter.
in this whole matter. And this third party issue is something I have all in my phone.
Okay, I'll get you to expatiate on the third party issue, but let's look at the account of Chidinma as it is. What, in your opinion, legally speaking, are the loopholes and the shortcomings that probably doesn't make the story to add up?
Very good. You see, one, Chidinma, from our account, she has been taking hard drugs before she met Ataga.
Okay.
And from the account of the friends who know Ataga, they say Ataga has never been taking, does not even smoke, not less of taking hard drugs, but he drinks. Then Chidinma is trying to play a game, maybe honestly or
Otherwise.
Because in law, nobody is responsible for an act or omission that person committed while the person was under the influence of any intoxicating substance. What I mean is this: if Miss A was under the influence of an intoxicating substance, maybe alcohol or hard drug, and she committed murder, she will not be liable in law.
Okay.
So this is the angle I am seeing her following.
Can this be substantiated under the circumstances?
Well, the police have the opportunity, before anything else is done, to check Chidinma whether she has intoxicating substances in her bloodstream, and check in the autopsy of Ataga if he himself also has those substances. If those substances are in both of them, then her defense can have a smart lawyer's easy job.
Okay.
To say she was under the influence of an intoxicating substance.
Okay.
Therefore, she was not in control of herself
at the time
the incident happened. Therefore, she's not liable. But there is another angle
that could change that narrative, right?
That could change that narrative.
Okay, what's the angle?
And the angle is, if you were given an ATM with the PIN number, you did not go to withdraw this money. And you did not ask the man to do a transfer, assuming the man has transfer application in his phone.
Okay.
If he doesn't have transfer application, you have been going out to buy food, you have been asking for loud and SK. You could easily have just said, okay, since we are lodging here, let me go to the bank and withdraw this thing.
Okay.
Particularly when she had told the man, when the man gave her the card, she said, this is not what I want. What exactly do you want? What do you want?
From her own account.
From her own account. Mm-hmm. She said, this is not what I want. After the man gave her the card and the pen. But the police will also have to look at this angle. If she on her own, in her own Alagomeji residence in Yaba, could use her phone to generate a foreign number, then it is also possible that if the man was using his fingers to make any phone transfer, she could have read
the PIN to his account.
That's another point.
Okay.
But intoxication or under the influence of intoxicating substances will not avail her legally. If after the incident has happened, she had the ability to think, change her blood-stained dress, wore a clean dress, left the hotel and opened the door a bit, and went far to a bank to withdraw 380,000. That is stealing on his own, because a dead man no longer have the opportunity of giving you consent to withdraw from his account. If the money was withdrawn while the man was alive, you can say the man gave you consent. But as soon as the man is dead, you went and withdrew the money. That is pure stealing.
Supposing the consent was given before the man died.
That's what I'm saying.
Does it add up?
It doesn't add up, because you would have gone to withdraw that money while the man was alive.
Okay.
Not when the man is dead. Because I cannot ask, let Ataga now, did you give consent? You can't ask a dead man.
Okay. Brenda Thomas, in all of this, it's also there in the media space of some of the latest development regarding an estranged relationship between the late Ataga, CEO of Super TV, and his wife. That led to perhaps the reason why they've been living in different towns. But we know that in the business world, this scenario plays out every now and then, where the wife could be in another country or another city or state, and the husband is in another country, city or state. What do you make of the development, particularly some of the spurious allegations coming forth relating to infidelity on the part of the wife? Some are even alleging that the wife was also instrumental to all of these arrangements in collusion or collaboration with his
I will explain without going too much into other areas. You see, I keep telling people, no matter what we have, we should be satisfied. Our African concept of marriage is the man and woman living together. But now, in this modern day, people think that they are trying to make more money. The wife stays far, the man stays far. I can tell you straight away, a man can still be infidel or involve himself in infidelity, even when the woman is beside him.
So there's no justification for saying there's nothing wrong
No,
with
there's justification.
What's the justification? If a man can display infidelity under the very nose and eyes of his wife.
But it becomes very easy. The latitude becomes unlimited when both the man and the woman are not living together.
Okay.
The man is back to his bachelor life. he's back to his bachelor lifestyle. Mm-hmm. As at the time this incident happened, Mrs. Brenda Ataga was not in Lagos.
Because of her job. Yeah.
The man left home on Sunday. She has been in Abuja. For many years now, there has been the fact that the husband and Brenda have had a strange relationship.
Okay.
Right from when she joined NNPC. Right now, she's the national coordinator of the offshore, upstream and downstream
F.Î.G.H.T.Š.
F.Î.G.H.T.Š.
Yeah. That's
She is.
petroleum
So you
gas.
can imagine she's occupied a very high level
position
in Abuja. But the story is that the man and the wife, the man got information that the wife was involved in extramarital affairs in Abuja. That led to their separation, and the woman was no longer coming home from Abuja. But she was not divorced from the husband.
Okay.
She was not divorced. And Chidima had a man who was the younger brother of her father. Let me say uncle.
Okay.
Who put Chidima in University of Lagos? Who was paying Chidima's school fees? And that is Mr. Izu. Now the allegation and the pictures I have here, I have all the pictures here.
Okay.
Of Mr. Izu and Brenda kissing at different positions. I have all of them in my phone.
Yeah, it's there in the social media
Good.
space. Yeah, it's there in the social
I
media
have all of them here. Mm-hmm. So Brenda was no longer hiding the fact that Ataga is my legal husband, but I'm no more interested in Ataga.
Yeah.
So she was free with Izu in Abuja. Now the point now came up early in December last year, when, because of the love affair between Mr. Izu and Mrs. Brenda Ataga, they now got to the point of saying, let us get married. And Brenda said, but I am still legally married. What do we do? And Izu was alleged to have come up with the idea. Why can't we get Mr. Ataga in a very uncompromising situation where we can record his sexual activity, since he has weakness for fair complexioned, beautiful ladies. Mm-hmm. If we get that one, we will use that as the evidence before the court
to demand for divorce.
To demand for divorce.
Okay.
That his conduct is intolerable. And the question now was, who do we use in Lagos? And Izu was alleged to have said, I have a cousin, I am paying her school fees in Lagos. And that is Chidima. She's beautiful, she's seductive. All we need to do is get somebody to take her to a billionaire's party, because Ataga was a billionaire. That was how they took a friend of hers was got to take her. Initially, Chidima was said to have said, no, I don't want to get involved in this kind of thing. But the man was paying her school fees. And she was now taken to a party in Banana Island, where she was, you know how these guys arrange themselves.
Yeah.
They got her close to Izu. Izu, a human, Ataga. Ataga being a normal human being. Even pastors these days fall to temptation. He saw Chidima beautiful. And I have pictures of Chidima here, even near the beach. What she was putting on. a saint will be tempted. So Ataga now went for Chidinma, not knowing that Chidinma was a bet. That was how the relationship started in January, without knowing that Chidinma was planted against him to facilitate divorce in Abuja. And when Chidinma was not delivering, when she was not delivering, no result, Izu stopped the school fees.
Okay.
And said, until you deliver evidence, I won't pay your school fees. So she could not go to school. It was at that moment, it was alleged that Izu told Chidinma, get a place. I will send boys to bug
the place.
There will be hidden cameras, everything in that apartment. Make sure all these things are done before you bring in Ataga. So those things were done. She got there. After Ataga had paid, all those gadgets were all put there. And every activity they were doing will be recorded.
Okay. But Sebi Thomas, does this explains why the police authorities in Lagos have said that Chidinma may not have been the only person involved in this matter?
Yes. In fact, they use the word and her cohorts. And her cohorts.
Okay.
They've gotten the point that she did not organize this herself. Chidinma must have told them that, look, I didn't want to do this thing. I didn't even plan to kill this man. I was only carrying out a job to assist my uncle to get his girlfriend get a divorce and they will marry. But at that point, after the whole bugging of the place, Chidinma invited the man to say, you can now come.
Okay.
And the man walked in.
Okay, now, the plank of this case that has to do with the wife of Ataga is yet to be established. Because all that we have are what is there in the public space, in the media space, with pictures and all of that, which could be denied. Against that background, how do you think that justice can be gotten for the man who has been so dastardly killed?
A lot depends on Chidinma. And I do not see if the police, with the same dexterity and professionalism with which they arrested Chidinma, and don't forget, hardened criminals. I am not saying Chidinma is a hardened criminal, but even her classmates and lecturers said she's a recluse. She hardly talks to anybody. She comes to school, take a lecture, and she goes.
That doesn't make her a hardened criminal, just like you said.
But with the pictures we have with her smoking. And another important fact, she doesn't live with the mother. The mother is separated from the father. The father violently resisted
her arrest.
Why? The father could not believe that his own Chidinma, his daughter, can even hurt a fly. Chidinma has a shop in front of her house. So the father sees the daughter as an innocent child of yesterday who is managing a shop. How can she be involved in killing? So if you look at this, this is another lesson for parents in Nigeria. Don't look at your children at face value. Don't look at their ages. When they leave your house, particularly when they have to attend schools, I understand even now in primary schools and secondary schools there are courts. So don't look at your children and say they cannot do anything. That was the reason why the father was arrested.
Okay.
So if you juxtapose her mien of being a very innocent looking child to the pictures we have where she's smoking and almost naked in pictures, if you juxtapose all that, and the fact that she can generate a foreign number to her own phone, then you begin to look at Chidinma properly. So she is going to be very, very helpful to the police. If the police can simply do a thorough job, use the same method they use in getting her. Because for 24 hours, you were watching her.
Yeah.
If they can get more information from her, she will definitely tell the police who sent her. Because the information at my disposal, which is also online, was that as soon as the unexpected happened, that Mr. Ataga died, she was said to have phoned Mr. Izu, who told her to calm down, don't worry, just calm down, don't panic. Those boys who came to fix all those gadgets, he will send them back. And those ones quickly remove all the gadgets. But one of them still leaked out the video of the sexual activities between the two of them.
Okay.
Which is also online.
Online, yeah.
So if that video can be online, where Ataga and Chidinma were having sexual activities, how did it go online? Who planted those cameras?
But those cameras could have been in existence for security reasons.
I can tell you.
In the lobby, in the reception, and stuff like that.
Travel.
Maybe not necessarily in the
bedroom.
Room, not necessarily in the bedroom.
In the bedroom, you don't. Even in your house, when you put CCTV cameras in your house, you don't put it in the bedroom. I have traveled very far wide, and I've used many hotels, both in Nigeria and outside. There are never CCTV cameras in the bedroom.
Okay, quickly before we call it a wrap, this is obviously a trying moment for the Ataga family, considering what has happened, and a whole lot has been going on social media space. Some fabricated, some are misleading, some are even misinformation. The legal firm representing the Ataga family issued a statement recently calling on bloggers, social media practitioners to
Ataga family?
Yes, to be cautious of the things they say. I think is Ricky Tafa, senior advocate of Nigeria, and was signed by one of the representative or so. I want to get your perspective on this, considering how trying this is for the family and some of the ways some of these publications have come forth.
See, if the Ataga family decides to involve a lawyer so as to douse the kind of information they are dishing out,
okay,
all they are trying to do is to try to minimize damage. It is not a good story that a billionaire from a well-known family, the father was the director of NIFO, Professor Ataga. That man was there and he earned a very good name. So it is not easy to find that a child you brought up who has become a billionaire in this kind of country we are, through hard work and good business, dying, not in his house, not in an accident, not in a plane crash, dying distastefully inside a hotel room, stabbed by a girl who has confessed to it.
Yeah.
So all they can do is to try to involve a lawyer to try to minimize the damage. Like I told you, all the sexual activities, some of them are already online. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to have that kind of image in your family.
Okay.
In your family, you
okay.
don't want.
Okay.
So you will want to try as much as possible to douse that.
But there's nothing anybody can do.
They are there.
Yeah.
I have them.
Yeah.
I have them on my phone.
Yeah.
So there is not much. But the truth is this. It is a wake-up call. If you permit me, it's a wake-up call. We should look at our African culture of marriage. We shouldn't be copying all these things the whites are doing.
Okay. By Sabi Thomas, what do you also make of the perspective of the side chick syndrome within socio-political space in Nigeria?
I was coming to that.
And then the sugar daddy kind of
yes.
stuff. Yeah.
we should go back to our African culture.
African culture allows marrying more than one wife. Is that what you're talking about?
I am saying that, and look, my dear brother, I am not a pastor, but I had to read Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1 yesterday.
Okay.
I had to go to the Quran, to the Holy Quran, Holy Bible. I went to all this, and it's supposed most of what African culture starts about. In African culture, a good wife is a good asset to the man.
Yeah.
In those days, if you are interested in this kind of Chidima, your wife will be the one to go and investigate her family background.
Okay.
Your wife is going to sanction your marrying her. But these days, because of the fear of these men who go rush to registry and go and put ring in their hands, and because of these statutory marriages, many men are now so scared of their wives. You're not a truly monogamous man in your mind. In your upbringing, you're not a monogamous man. So the thing is to have a side chick. And in trying to have a side chick or girlfriend, you want to do it outside the purview of your wife. And these things carry a lot of risk.
Okay.
Stabbing to death. We had a time in Benin where a commissioner was found in a hotel long ago.
Yeah.
The wife was not at home.
Yeah.
And we have seen one in this hotel those days where the man took ignorantly about 10 cans of power horse, thinking that it gives power, whereas it contains caffeine. And the man also died.
Yeah.
Now, if the man had, there are two types of women. A woman is either dark or she's light. There's no green or blue woman. If you have a yellow woman at home and a black woman at home, one fat, one slim, and you still decide to go out, then you are greedy. You are greedy.
Okay. I mean, we just heard over the weekend the Senate president added a new wife to the pool.
This is what the big men are doing.
Okay.
You see, I have seen a governor who had 4 wives in the north. And because he wanted a 13-year-old Egyptian, he sacked his 18-year-old 4th wife, who already had 2 children for him, and it took place
to marry the 13-year-old.
13-year-old.
To replace the 18-year-old.
And many big men in Nigeria all flew jets to Abuja.
Okay, some female activists may have different perspectives on this.
Look, these female activists, they should concentrate on maltreatment of women. But they should not dabble into our culture that permits taking more than one wife. Because I still stand by what I'm saying. In those days, you don't have side chick. Because you have wives at home. You cannot be going, why will you have
if you say you don't have side chicks, but they used to have concubines. Concubines are equivalent of side chicks.
The concubines are the ones chosen by one of the wives.
Okay.
And they are the ones who can no longer have children. That's why they are called concubines.
Okay.
They are not going to have more children. You see?
Okay.
And even those concubines those days, they were still sources of trouble.
Okay, Pastor Thomas, I got to stop you here now. But on the final word, you have advised that we need to re-establish the traditional institution in such a way and manner that couples are together.
Yes.
But in the event that there are differences, unresolved differences, this scenario could play out, like we have seen in this case.
Yes.
And when this scenario plays out, then both parties are really, in such a situation wherein they can find themselves in this kind of situation. If late Ataga, may so rest in peace,
Amen,
has been estranged from his wife over these years. I mean, is a good-looking guy, successful guy, who probably, on account of a strained relationship with his wife, maybe is looking at the opportunity of establishing a relationship with Chidima. But unfortunately, he didn't know that Chidima was a bait, as alleged.
Yes.
So I'm sure that in the days to come, many more revelations will come, particularly on the narrative involving his wife and her alleged lover called Izu. So we leave all that the way it is.
I have a point.
Yeah, just anchor the point.
Yes, you see, this incident is going to be one of the greatest trials in criminal law in Nigeria.
Why do you say so?
Oh, because if the powers that be in Abuja do not block the police from doing thorough investigation, a lot of people are going to be brought into it. And it is going to be like the one we were taught in criminal jurisdiction when we were students. Already against the state. Already was a police officer who aided armed robbers to attack Basita Sugar Company those days. I am going to follow this story. I'm going to follow it like I followed Farouk Lawan's case.
All the way.
All the way. I'm going to follow this. What I advise, if a woman feels she no longer wants a man, please, you don't need this kind of video evidence to go to court. Our Matrimonial Causes Act, which provides for divorce in Nigeria of 1970, has made it so easy. You can just walk to any court and just say, look, because my husband is snoring too much, he's like a train when he's sleeping.
So you don't need a husband's consent?
You don't need it.
Okay.
You just go. And it is difficult for any judge in Nigeria to refuse divorce now.
Okay. Rather than go on this part, you take the part of divorce. That's the point.
Just go. You don't need this video evidence.
Okay.
You don't need a bed evidence. Just simply, and you can file it even in Abuja. You can file it in Sokoto. I don't want this man. Then you go.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sir Barrister F.I.G.H.T.Š. Thomas. There's still more to come in this case.
So you guys just saw Barrister F.I.G.H.T.Š. Thomas chesting the matter, as in serious chesting, as if he was there when everything happened, saying it with such conviction. My goodness. So this is what I think about everything. Granted, having Barrister Thomas walk back all of the things that he said as false, recanting those things are all nice. They are a step in the right direction. But at the same time, it is too little too late, because unfortunately, not everyone who saw his initial interview is going to see this one. And so that is a serious thing, because a lot of people have now taken that story as the gospel truth and they have now run with it. And now this woman is now being left to deal with the embarrassment. That is the reason why you have to watch your words, because the damage has been done. You cannot unring the bell. You can't take it back. The damage has been done. On that note, you guys, this is where I'm going to end this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you have not already done so. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.